You know, most people don't ruin their lives in one dramatic moment. They ruin them slowly, quietly, and comfortably. And they wake up every day thinking there's still time, still another chance, still another Monday to finally start becoming the person they keep imagining in their head. Then one day they look around and realize they traded years of their life for distractions, excuses, and routines they never even liked. That's the scary part. Life usually doesn't collapse all at once. It drifts away for you while you're busy scrolling, waiting, procrastinating, and telling yourself you'll figure it out later. And this is the wake up call you didn't know you needed, because the truth is nobody's coming to save you. Not motivation, not luck, and not some magical opportunity that suddenly appears out of nowhere. Your future is being built by what you do repeatedly and when nobody's watching. And most people are sleepwalking through the process. And right now, there are people your age getting stronger, smarter, richer, healthier, and more disciplined, while others sit around consuming content all day, wondering why life feels so empty. The difference usually isn't talent, it's awareness. And some people wake up early enough to realize their habits are building their freedom or regret, while others stay trapped in autopilot for years. You have to understand how dangerous comfort can be, okay? Comfort is addictive because it feels safe in the moment, but over time it slowly steals your ambition. Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm gonna not even going to cut that. And the more comfortable you get doing nothing, okay, the harder it becomes. I'm going to have to wash my hand now to do something meaningful. That's why so many people stay stuck in the jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that make them miserable. They convince themselves, stability is enough, even when they deep down they're wasting potential. The average person, they spend years distracting themselves from the life they actually want instead of confronting the uncomfortable truth that change requires effort. It requires sacrifice and consistency. And social media made this even worse because now people compare their behind the scenes struggles to everyone else's highlight reels. They see success online, but don't see the years of failure, stress, rejection, and discipline behind it. So instead of building their own future, they become spectators watching other people's live. Hours disappear every day into endless scrolling, meaningless arguments, and dopamine hits that leave people mentally exhausted and emotionally empty. Companies are literally competing for your attention because attention is currency. The longer they keep you distracted, the less likely you are to focus on your own goals. Think about how many dreams die because people got comfortable consuming instead of creating. Somebody wanted to start a business that kept waiting for the perfect moment. Somebody wanted to lose weight but kept saying they'd start next week. Somebody wanted to learn a skill, write a book, build a channel, travel the world, or fix their life. But years passed while they stayed trapped in the same cycle. Time doesn't care about intentions. You don't get rewarded for wanting something. You get rewarded for acting on it consistently. And the harsh reality is most people never start because starting means facing the possibility of failure. But failure is not the real enemy. Regret is. Failure teaches lessons. Regret just sits in your closet for years, reminding you that you could have tried harder. And one of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that I have time. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. None of us actually know. And every single day, people wake up assuming tomorrow is guaranteed. And every single day, someone runs out of tomorrows. That's why wasting your life on autopilot is so dangerous. You keep assuming there's another chance. And later, while the clock quietly keeps moving forward, years turn into decades faster than most people realize. And ask almost any other person, and they'll tell you how quietly and quickly time disappeared. The problem is humans are terrible at noticing gradual change. You don't notice yourself getting weaker or more distracted or less ambitious because it happens slowly, just like you don't notice opportunities disappearing until they're already gone. Your habits either compound for you or against you. Reading 10 pages a day doesn't seem life changing until years pass and one person has consumed thousands of pages of knowledge while another spent the same time scrolling nonsense. Saving money doesn't feel small until compounded interest turns discipline into financial freedom. And exercising for an hour seems insignificant until years later. One person feels energetic and capable while another struggles to climb stairs without pain. Tiny actions they repeated daily become identities, and that's the most people miss. Your life is not built in massive dramatic moments. It's built in the ordinary choices you repeat every single day. Another wake up call people need is understanding that motivation is unreliable. Waiting until you feel ready is one of the fastest way to waste years of your life. Nobody feels motivated every day. I don't. And successful people are not magically inspired all the time. I'm not. They simply learn how to move even when they don't feel like it. Coffee. Discipline matters more than motivation because discipline survives bad moods, stressful days, and temporary emotions. And if your entire future depends on whether or not you feel inspired that morning, you're going to stay inconsistent forever. The people who change their lives usually do boring things consistently for a long time. They wake up early, even when tired. They go to the gym, even when unmotivated. They study when nobody is forcing them to. They invest money instead of spending it on temporary pleasure. They keep building skills while others keep making excuses. Another uncomfortable truth is that nobody owes you success. The world doesn't care about how much potential you have if you never apply it. Potential means absolutely nothing without execution. There are incredibly talented people living average lives because they never developed discipline, while less talented people outperform them simply because they stayed consistent longer. Hard work alone doesn't guarantee success, but refusing to work almost guarantees failure. It's something that the wake up call people need is realizing they've been blaming them everything except themselves. It's easy to blame the economy, your past, your parents, your boss, your bad luck, your circumstances. Some people genuinely face harder situations than others. But eventually, you still have to decide whether you're going to stay stuck or start adapting. Responsibility is heavy, but it's also empowering because the moment you accept responsibility for your future, you stop waiting for permission to improve your life. You stop acting like a victim and start acting like someone capable of change. Look at Bret Hart. He's been a victim for years. Fear also traps more people and they realize fear of embarrassment, fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of looking stupid. But most people are too focused on their own insecurities to spend much time thinking about yours. Opinions keep you trapped usually and don't matter nearly as much as you think. Imagine sacrificing your goals just because you were scared someone might laugh at you for trying. Years from now, those opinions won't matter, but your regrets probably will. And another wake up call is understanding that your environment shapes you more than your intentions do. If you surround yourself with lazy, negative, undisciplined people, eventually your mindset starts becoming their mindset. Humans naturally adapt to their environments, and that's why successful people are careful about what they consume, who they spend time with, and what habits they normalize. Your brain absorbs patterns constantly. If you spend every day around people who complain, avoid responsibility, and settle for mediocrity, eventually mediocrity, starts feeling normal. But if you surround yourself with people who challenge themselves, build things, learn skills, and stay disciplined, growth starts to feel normal too. The scary thing is, many people never question the environment shaping them. They stay in circles that drain their energy and kill ambition because it feels familiar, and familiar doesn't always mean healthy. And sometimes the life you want, it requires leaving behind habits, routines, and even people that keep pulling you backwards. One of the hardest things in my life was letting go of people like that. And it's not easy. Anyways, getting off topic. And one of the most important things you can realize is that confidence is built through action, not thinking. People spend years overanalyzing every possible outcome instead of taking care of one small step. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. Belief creates confidence, and nobody becomes confident by endlessly preparing. They become confident by surviving difficult situations repeatedly until they realize they're capable of more than what they thought. Taking imperfect actions is almost always better than waiting for perfect conditions. And perfect conditions, they rarely exist. There'll always be uncertainty, discomfort, and risk, but the alternative is staying frozen while life keeps moving without you. At some point, you have to decide whether temporary discomfort or temporary comfort is worth long term regret. Because every day to delay becoming the person you know you could be, and you're making a trade. You're trading your future freedom for present comfort. You're trading growth for familiarity, and you're trading possibilities for safety. And maybe the biggest wake up call of all is realizing that the life you want is probably going to require a version of you that doesn't exist yet. A stronger version, a more disciplined version, a more focused version. The current version of you created your current results. If you want different results, you have to evolve. That's one of the hardest things in life. And that means building habits that align with the future you want instead of the excuses that keep you stuck. It means understanding that small, consistent actions matter more than occasional bursts of motivation. It means realizing your future self is depending on choices you make right now. Years from now, you will either thank yourself for starting today or hate yourself for waiting again. Nobody can make that decision for you. The wake up call is realizing your life is happening right now, not someday and not eventually, not when conditions are perfect, right now. And every second you spend ignoring that truth is a second you never get back. Thanks for watching today. Uh, Subscribe if you would. YouTube says that I had to have subscriptions, and if this video meant something to you, would you subscribe? I'd appreciate it. I'm just going to go now. Have a good day.